Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. All right, man. Football is back. Real football. I'm talking about regular season football is back, and I am loving it, man. I did all my summer chores. I spent quality time with the family. Now it's time to shut all that down. It's football season. My Saturdays and Sundays are occupied.
Yes, indeed, it is back. Every sports bar is my man cave. I don't know what funny business they just had the other day with Disney and Direct TV. I don't know if you heard about
Oh, yeah, I did.
that.
Glad I left Direct TV.
So I go out to the bar to watch the Florida State Boston College game, and they don't have it on. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, what's going on, y'all? Okay, all right, maybe y'all tripping. All right. So I go get one of the bartenders, and I say, hey, can you turn to the game? Can you turn to the game? They're like, what game? Which one? I was like, Boston College, Florida State. So they said, okay. They go and they turn to the screen, and there's a blank screen up there when they turn to the channel. I said, oh yeah, that's it. I see it. You know, you can see it on the thing before they turn to it.
You can see what channel it is.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, that's it. Boston College. They click on it. That joint says, due to contractual dispute with Disney, we will not be broadcasting this. So I'm like, what?
Yep. I saw that, man.
I just don't understand what was happening, man. I was like, what? So I go to the next place. They got the same problem because it's anybody with Direct TV.
Yep. Yeah, because look, here's the deal. ESPN is what drives up the cost on your Direct TV bill. ESPN is expensive.
Really?
Yes. Like they pay a certain dollar amount for a channel. So like ESPN is very popular. I think it's one of the most expensive channels with like Direct TV. And like when ESPN goes up on their cost, your Direct TV bill goes up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they were just right in the mix with all the other regular channels.
No, and they got to negotiate a deal, man. That's how, sometimes you're getting ready to lose certain channels. That's because there's a contract dispute with the network. Yeah, and I felt like when I had DirecTV, I often went through that where it was a chance I was going to lose ESPN, and there was some other channel that's always disputed. I think like the NFL Network, or maybe it was the NBA.
Oh no, it's Red Zone. It's the Red Zone.
Red Zone, right? Yeah,
it's Red Zone.
Yeah, always a dispute.
Yeah, because Red Zone is not part of a regular package. You have to have the sports package.
Right. Right.
Yep.
So that's frustrating. I can only imagine how you felt. Probably had to pull it up on your phone.
I was so mad. Ended up having to go into 4 different bars, and I'm just going home, watching them. Oh, I'm sorry. No, there was one place on my way home that I stopped by, and I said, "Let me just check over here, Burton, see if they got it open. See if they got regular cable." Then I asked the guy, no offense, but the guy was gay, so I didn't trust his opinion, what he said, because I'm like, he ain't watching football. The guy says, I say, do y'all got Verizon? He says, yeah, we got Verizon. I said, really? Okay, so y'all got ESPN there. He's like, yeah, where you going to be sitting at? I'll change that TV. And I went over there, sat down, like, can't go be able to change this damn channel. Pretty sure they got Direct TV up in this joint. But no, he turned it to ESPN and the game was on. Wow. I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, wow. I tell you what, it was worth it.
Right? Yes, it was. Yes, indeed.
The game.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it was an upset special. I hope y'all parlay USC and Boston College together to get that nice parlay hit for the weekend.
Hey man, why you gotta bring up old stuff? Nobody mentioned anything about USC and LSU, but you had to bring it up.
It was the day before.
Old stuff. Nobody want to talk about that, man.
That was a big loss. That was 2 days ago. That's not old stuff.
The damn LSU Tigers, man. This dude, Brian Kelly, has lost 3 straight openers. Lost the opener last season to Florida State.
Yeah.
And most of the times it's because he refuses to kick field goals and punt.
Yeah, that is true. He did go for it a couple times in that game.
Yes.
And particularly he went for it, I think on his own 37 or own 47.
It was like his own 47. Yeah. Went
Yes.
for it, didn't get it. Now you didn't give them great field position. It's like,
Yep.
dude, you are killing your team. And then on the first
Absolutely.
drive of the game, we had a 13 play drive, which I think stalled at like it was either the 10 or the 15-yard line. Chip shot field goal.
Yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
be overly aggressive, trying to prove something. You go for it.
Yep.
3 points we could have had.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it helped me because I had the under in that game. So it was under 66 and a half. So I was great. I was ecstatic about it. But it was bad football. It was just bad football.
It
But
was.
you can't lose a star quarterback, your top receiver, you know what I'm saying? And then expected the offense to be the same. It's just not going to happen.
Why
That's why
not? It's LSU.
it's LSU, but you got to have the quarterback. The quarterback has to be able to accomplish your offense. They have to be able to run your offense away. And the
He
same thing,
he
same issue that Florida State had. They lost their quarterback,
no,
the
no, no,
top
no.
receiver, the top
No.
running back.
No, Dell.
Yes, you
No.
cannot lose those. The
Dell.
special quarterbacks are special because they are the few people that can run the way they run them. So you
Yes.
can't just put any quarterback in there and expect them to run that offense the same.
Yeah, you know what?
Never gonna work that way.
That's all nice and fine and dandy. But Garrett Nussmeier, who is the starting quarterback for LSU, has been there for a while.
You can
Okay.
be there all you want to. He wasn't as good as Jalen Daniels.
He's not as good as Jaden Daniels because he can't run like Jaden Daniels.
Exactly. There you go.
But he's
There's a whole element missing.
But
that game.
yeah, it's an element missing. Yeah, he's not a Heisman Trophy quarterback, but
yes,
it ain't nothing about he didn't know the system. He's learned. No, he's been there. He's a junior. He knows the system. He's been backing up Jaden for the past 2 seasons. And he played well, in my opinion. He played very well. I thought
he played okay. There was definitely some plays out there he missed. But the thing that made Jaden special is when everything broke down.
Yeah, he was able to use his legs.
And his legs would be like 30, 40 yards.
Nussmeier comes from a NFL pedigree. His dad played. He was a backup quarterback for the Saints years ago. His dad was Doug Nussmeier, and he's a offensive coordinator. I forget what college he's the offensive coordinator. So got the pedigree. He's a good quarterback.
That doesn't mean much. What his father did.
It's a things that matter. He's got the pedigree. He had a good game. He threw for 304 yards. He was 29 of 38. Played well. His coach threw him under the bus. His coach made some bad moves, going for it on 4th down, not allowing them to play the field position, not taking the points when they were there. He put him in a bad spot. I don't blame Nussmeier. I don't think this was a thing of Jaden Daniels not there to do the special things that he's able to do. LSU had this game in the bag, and the coach sold him out. And then got the damn.
Look, that's what made LSU though. I mean, it was Jaden Daniels making plays when there weren't any plays to be made. He would always keep the chains moving because when everything broke down, he was going to take off. And sometimes it was for 40, 50 yards, and sometimes it was all the way to the house.
They didn't go undefeated last season either. They lost the first game of the season.
Yes, they did.
With Jaden Daniels. And that wasn't Jaden Daniels' fault. That was the coach. He's making the same mistakes that he did last season, being overly aggressive, not taking the points, not trusting your defense, and putting your team in a bad spot. I don't think Nussmeier played badly. Great. Granted, I get what you're saying. He's not special.
Didn't they also have a different Didn't they also have a different coach too, as well?
They had different offensive coordinator,
offensive coordinator, right? But see, USC came in with a quarterback who played last year because what's called it shut it down early, so he did get to play some. He threw 6 touchdowns when he came in and played that first game. He threw 6 touchdowns,
just as well as Nussmeier did. Nussmeier played last season because Jaden Daniels shut it down early too. Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah. He threw. Yeah, he did. But but they didn't have to go through a new coordinator and stuff. They had like a little bit less adjustments they have to make. LSU lost their top quarterback, top receiver. I want to say top running back as well. Same situation as Florida State. So I just think they had more to adjust to
And that may be the case, but that's not why they lost this game. And that's not why they lost the game last season when Jaden Daniel was there and the great receiver and the great running back was there. The coach, that's my point. The coach is messing this up. He is he's the Dan Campbell of LSU. You know, looking at the kickers. Well, I don't know why we got you on this team. Use your daggone kickers. Play field position. You're giving a shortened field to USC. You know, you're not playing Southern California A&T. You know what I'm saying? You playing the USC. So you got to play this close.
Yeah, but it's not the USC from last year, though. They lost Caleb Williams. That's a big loss. That is a big loss.
Yeah, LSU lost.
That's why they came in there as the underdogs, because they lost Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? They lost some key players.
They came in as the underdog because they playing the SEC team.
Well, that too. I mean, that's part of it as well. That's part of it as well. But the main thing is you lost the number 1 overall NFL pick to your team. So they're not expecting you to be able to have another number 1 type caliber to back him up and come right in there and do it.
That's the same thing for LSU. They lost the number 2 overall.
True.
And the Heisman Trophy winner.
Very true. Very true. But that was my whole thing, though. LSU lost a little more. I think LSU lost a little more because they also lost their offensive coordinator. You talk about different offense coming in, different quarterback coming in. You know what I'm saying? You have to coordinate all that and get it ready for the season. USC didn't have as much bargaining to do because the quarterback was already in place. He already played last year. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't have to change their coordinator, their offense coordinator. So they had a little bit less things to have the hurdles to jump to get through that game. You know what I'm saying? So that's why
look at my face. Look at my face. I'm not buying that. That's totally BS. I'm not buying that.
I picked USC to win that game. You know what I'm saying? So
you should have, knowing Brian Kelly's track record first game of the season. He screwed this up 3 times in a row. He did it last season.
That's part of it. Yeah, that's definitely part of it.
Third time in a row being overly aggressive, desperate, doing unnecessary stuff. You can't blame the quarterback on this.
It wasn't just it wasn't just the quarterback. It was a combination of all 3 things I just said. But those 3 things contributed overall to what happened in that game, which is why they couldn't. Because their main thing was they couldn't score. They couldn't score like they could before. And that's why those players they lost.
I ain't buying it. Not buying it.
Hey, man. Players are the players. Players are the ones who make the play.
Yeah, but there's one consistent factor, and that's the head coach. He's been there 3 different seasons. He had 2 different quarterbacks, and it's the same result the first game of the season. Same.
I mean, the first game doesn't really matter thing though, because the first
it puts you behind the 8 ball already.
He coached a Hall of Fame, not a Hall of Fame, but a Heisman Trophy winner coach. I mean, a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that quarterback
and he lost the first game of the season. He lost 3 games last season with that Heisman Trophy quarterback, and he lost the first game of the season the same way with the Heisman Trophy quarterback.
Yeah, I mean. Losing 3 games is not bad.
No, it's not bad. He probably can make the playoffs losing 3 games. Like, because now there's 12. There's a 12. This year's 12 team playoffs. So probably could make the playoffs with losing 3 games.
Yeah. You would be at like from 10 to 12, but you can lose 3.
Depending on who your school is, like LSU,
and depending on when you lose those games.
It would depend on who you lose those games to.
That's true, but it's more important when you lose them.
Right.
You can't lose them at the end of the season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you lose in the beginning of the season, you kind of make your way up.
Now that we can agree on. So he can make this up. But going into the season, making these silly mistakes, being overly aggressive, not taking the points, I think is going to hurt. Look, I get it. You're playing, I don't know, Vanderbilt. Okay, I get it. Go for it on 4th down. Do silly stuff. Try out new things. maybe not against them because they're actually pretty good. But when they bring in some of these soft schools that they paid to come play at LSU, okay,
Right.
try out stuff, but don't try it against USC. Don't try that against Alabama. Let's not be silly here. Play it smart. That's what bothers me. I hear what you're saying. Yes, there's been changes. Yeah, I don't like playing tough teams early in the season because you're working out the kinks and stuff like that.
That's right.
I get it, but hey, that's the cards you were dealt. Every season, LSU is going to play a top 10 team or a really good team, top 25 team. Put it that way, top 25 team the first game of the season. You know it. I know it. That's just the way it is. That's how they advertise the college football season. Come ready.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Or you're going to set yourself back behind the 8-ball. And that's where we are. I so frustrated with him, and then got the nerve to be at the press conference banging on the table, frustrated with the players. They don't know how to close out people. Whatever.
He actually said that?
Hey, he was upset with the players because they didn't close out the game.
Wow.
We've been in this position before, and they don't know how to close out. We worked on this, and it's like, dude, you put them in a bad position. You put your defense in a bad position. Now they have to protect half the field opposed to all of the field because you chose to go for it on 4th down. Yep. And USC has a new defensive coordinator and seems to be doing some good stuff and was sending some crazy blitzes.
Right. Well, when I forgot what defensive coordinator they brought in. When I was thinking about it last week, I was thinking that guy's going to make their defense look at least a little better because they didn't have no defense last year. Their defense was horrible.
Right. They were terrible last year. Right.
Absolutely horrible. And
well as LSU's.
Yeah, it was as well as LSU. LSU is probably even worse.
Right.
LSU is probably even worse. But I didn't know he said that in the press conference. I didn't know that he was trying to say that about the players.
Right.
But yeah, it was coaching as well. It was definitely coaching as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the players that were missing. It was definitely some coaching mistakes he was making.
Right. And the player's going to miss assignments, but when you're playing another elite program with elite athletes, you're going to have that. You can't make it up with just talent. You know what I mean? And hey, when you put them in bad position and USC is playing smartly and taking the points when they can and doing smart things, they brought their best guns out at that 2-minute drill and closed out LSU to take the lead when it was tied.
Yep.
Hey, hats off to them. And what was funny, they kind of trolled the Tigers. When the Tigers won the championship like a few years back, I guess with Joe Burrow, they were doing the dance to get the gags on, and so USC was doing it in the locker room. They were like they were doing the dance, so like get the gag. Yeah. Anyway, that's a Louisiana thing, but anyway, yeah. I thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, they deserved it.
Right. No doubt. They played a good game.
They played a good game. A lot of good games. I love it, and I love it. It's football season, man. It's something to watch. I shut down everything. I'm not watching no TV shows. Movies are down to minimum. It's football season.
Absolutely. And on another note, did you get to see Dion's team?
What's that?
Did you get to see Dion's team, Colorado?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I saw him.
North Dakota State.
Right. What'd you think?
Same thing as last year. Mm-hmm. All offense, no defense. Shedeur was under duress. If there's any team that had any really serious pass rush, Shedeur would be very much in trouble.
Yep.
But he has those horses at wide receiver. The running game still does not exist.
It does not. It's like they don't even try.
Warren Sapp done. Right. I don't see what Warren Sapp really did to the defense because they still look bad.
I thought the defensive line looked better. And that's what Warren Sapp, to me, that's what he brought. But behind the D-line, they still just not on a, Division I level.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. But as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, they're still not putting enough pressure. So I don't know how Warren Sapp can fix that unless he just get better players.
Right. Well, he's got to probably get more aggressive, which is going to lead probably to more big plays.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
he's got to get more aggressive and start blitzing more people.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
But
saying? Pick and choose, but definitely got to blitz more.
yeah, they got to do something to get pressure, and they got to do something to take the pressure off of Shador. Like they got to run the ball. I mean, your top running back can't have just what was he at 20 yards, 29 carries, 20 yards.
Right.
That's ridiculous. You cannot win like that.
Yeah, that was their problem last year. They couldn't run the ball. Couldn't run the ball. And they was talking about how many people they brought in on the portals. Like 40 plus people came in on the portal, came through the portal to the team this season. How things gonna be so different. And I'm sorry, they look exactly the same.
Yep,
They look
you're right.
exactly the same.
Yep.
This spread wide, they're going to throw the ball because he's trying to get his son as a top 10 pick.
Right.
In a draft. So he's going to throw the ball.
Right.
That just is what it is. I don't care what running back he got back there, he's going to throw that ball.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. He gonna chuck that joint and he gonna throw for 400 yards a game, win or lose. Gonna throw for 400 yards a game.
Yep.
And but I think he's doing him a disservice by not like committing to the run. Like the pass should be setting up the run, and that's not happening. Like I get it, you're a pass first team, but damn, you should be a try to run second team too. You don't even try.
Yep.
So I mean, if you struggled against North Dakota State, it's gonna be worse when you start playing in your conference. I forget what conference they're in now. So when they start playing the big dogs, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And their defense is bad on both fronts. Like there's no pass defense and there's no run defense.
Mm-hmm.
So they play like a big running team like Nebraska.
Right.
They're going to have problems. If they play a big running team like Wisconsin, they're going to have problems. And by the way, that's who they play next week.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
They play Nebraska.
They play Nebraska, yes, with the fake Patrick Mahomes out there.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go rewatch that game. I'm gonna have to go rewatch that game to see what they did in that game. Because if he's supposed to be modeling himself after Patrick Mahomes, and they did dominate that game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was UTEP.
Yeah, okay? It was UTEP.
It was UTEP, but you beat them 40-7.
But don't get me wrong, dude's a freshman. He's a freshman. Yes. He's supposed to be, the savior. So
right, it's Dylon Raiola. Yes, well, Dylon Raiola. He threw with 238. 238 yards. But the main thing was their running. They had over almost 300 yards rushing, I believe.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what you get when you got a Cornhusker team. You're gonna get the big boys up front. That's going to be moving things out of the way. Warren Sapp got his, he going to have to make his money, going to earn his money.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend with Colorado and Nebraska. We know that's going to be on the main screen.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be on the prime time, probably going to be a later game again.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be on TV.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to see what they could do against them because, like I said, they showed me that they could not they still, just as last year, cannot stop the run, cannot stop the pass.
Right. And they can't run.
and can't run.
Run.
You cannot duplicate that running game that you cannot stop.
Right.
So.
And that's going to be the downfall. If they got to rely totally on Shador, and Shador got to do this every week in the Big 12, that's going to be a problem. I mean, that's asking a lot of Shador Sanders, which I don't think he can do.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's pretty much played this same style of football he's playing for the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, from
from Jackson State.
Well, not even Jackson State. Even before that, Trinity, which was Dion's charter school,
Right?
that he had created. Shador has been running this same type of offense, spread offense, throw first, run later. Excuse me.
You say
Type
run
of
later,
offense.
run at all.
Right. Sometimes you ain't running at all.
Right.
So he's used to that. But like you said, on this level, you can't just do it all by yourself.
Right. And that's going to be hard. And I'm afraid that that's going to, it's really going to, show itself when he plays one of those tough teams. Like after Nebraska, they play Colorado State. So they might have a good start to the season. These are teams they should beat. But, when they get to the big boys, that's what I'm afraid it's just going to be too much for Shador to try to carry himself.
Right. I don't think he's going to be able to, and they're going to get exposed just a little bit by Nebraska. Nebraska usually isn't a great team, but they might be a better team this year.
I think so. I think they are a better team this year. I like the young freshmen, so we'll see. I mean, they seem to be very high on him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the Patrick Mahomes thing has to do with it. He is getting a lot of pub for that.
Yeah.
6'3", 230. He's 6'3", 230, he had a so-so game. It wasn't like he was just throwing it all over the place, just killing it like Mahomes do. But he completed 70% of his passes, threw 2 touchdowns, threw for 238 yards. It's okay. That's like a Brock Purdy type day.
Brock Purdy. NFL Brock Purdy or college Brock Purdy? What Brock
NFL Brock Purdy.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. He throws 2 touchdowns, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what he do.
That's right. All right. We'll see. But speaking of Brock Purdy, let's talk some NFL football.
Let's get it.
I mean,
what to talk about.
Week 1. Well, we got a Thursday night matchup with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Ravens, right? Kansas City. And then we got a Friday night game.
Yeah, I told you, mark my words, there will be Friday night football.
Oh.
And it's going to be Friday night football. Like I'm telling you, it's going to be a permanent thing. They're going to make that a permanent thing.
You think so? I can't see them stepping all over high school football.
Dog, they're going to do it. It's too much money out there. When every time they make one of these little packages, these little single game packages,
right, they sell it to some
like
network.
$500 million.
Yeah, and then they sell it to some network, Peacock.
They sell it to some network. You let them have it exclusively,
right? Like, because we can't even watch this game. This game is going to be on Peacock.
It's going to be on Peacock. Yeah. That's why I patronize my bars when I need to patronize them, because they're going to have that. They're going to have Peacock.
Yeah, well, we might be going to the bar together because I want to see it. This one's in Brazil.
Yes, this is a Brazil game.
Yeah,
that's another thing NFL doing. Placing these games in all these different places like Mexico City.
Yep.
What I'm saying? London. They're placing these games all, and this has now become a regular thing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. NFL always kind of sneak it in. They give you this little thing, and then all of a sudden it becomes a regular thing.
Right, becomes a regular thing. You're right.
Like the overseas game. That's a regular thing now.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Well, it was only happening 2 days, once or twice, per season. That might be happening 3 or 4 times a season.
I thought early in the season is almost like the first 5 weeks of the season is a team playing. Like Jacksonville, it plays in London every year.
I think it was 2 games this year.
Was it 2 games?
I think it was 2 weekends this year that they did.
Okay.
And
well, yeah, I mean, like Jacksonville is committed to playing, I think, in London. I forget where it is because the owner has a stake in one of the soccer teams or something like that.
Right. Yep. So they're there every year.
They're every year.
And that's to their advantage because that's what people say. Well, they're used to that travel now.
That's true.
That's a little advantage for them because they're used to that travel where other teams going for the first time.
Right.
Used to that travel.
Right.
That's a different kind of travel.
It is. It is. But I think this is the NFL's way of trying to set things up, right? To start expanding the league to in Europe or Canada or something like that. Like, because like I know Buffalo sometimes plays in Toronto. You know what I mean? So I think the NFL is preparing because this is the only way they're gonna be able to expand. They've kind of over there's still a few places in the US they can put a team, but it's becoming really hard, right? Because it's going to become oversaturated. So it might be a European league division that may be coming along soon.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's inevitable. It's going to
Oh,
happen.
it's going to happen.
They started off with Thursday night games like that. You know, oh, we're just going to sprinkle in for a couple weeks, and that's a permanent thing.
It was on the NFL Network at one time. Remember that? It was
Yeah,
only on the
absolutely.
NFL
Yep.
Network.
Yep. It's on NFL Network until they sold it.
Yeah. Well, they
You
showed
know,
how good it was. It was like, look, see, it works.
right? Because who has it now? Prime
I think
TV.
Prime has,
Yeah,
Amazon Prime.
Yep, they have it. Now. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time for we have the Friday night football every week. It's gonna be so crazy. Yo.
I cannot believe. I don't see them stepping over. I would say they would do Tuesday night before they do Friday night.
Well, what they're doing right now? They're gonna have a Friday night game.
Well, I think this is a Friday night game, but I just can't see it, man.
And it's a good Friday night game. It ain't
like they gave you the two good teams. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So the Raiders gonna be killer. Oh my God, the Raiders gonna be killer.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So they already don't care about high school football.
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, this will be probably week 2 of high school.
Yeah, 2 or 3, something like that. They started in August, I think. I want to say they started like
maybe so.
August.
Yeah, I mean, because high school football is big down south. Like Fridays,
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Those towns, cities shut down.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, Texas, especially Texas. You haven't seen a high school stadium in Texas? Oh my God.
They look like colleges.
They do. They do. They spend millions on it. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, man. Look, you ready to make these picks for week 1 of the NFL season?
It's that time, man. Let's get these picks in. Let me go ahead and start dominating like I do.
What? Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You talking to an expert here.
Let me start dominating like I do. You know what I'm saying?
Dominating. Yeah, dominating from the bottom.
So I can show these people where to invest their money, where to invest their money on, what teams to invest their money on.
All right. All right. All right. Well, let's start with the first game, the Thursday night game, right? Talked about it. Kansas City at home against the Ravens. At their real home, not in Brazil or Mexico City or
no neutral site.
No neutral site. All right. Nothing whack like that. They're actually at home. Kansas City is a 3-point home favorite. I'll make my pick. I'm going with the Ravens. I don't like a team that wins the Super Bowl the year prior. They're still feeling all high. They're still partying. Ravens still mad about losing to the Chiefs. They got to get back at them. I'm going with the Ravens here. I think the Ravens are going to beat Kansas City because Chiefs are still, riding high from winning the Super Bowl.
Man, well, let me say this, right? Ravens should have been mad about Chiefs beating them because they spank them all the time. Okay, they spank them all the time, and then they just went to Baltimore and spanked them again in the playoffs. With the MVP on the team. This is the same thing they did last time he won the MVP.
But this ain't the playoffs. Regular season Ravens are different from playoff Ravens.
They're really not. If you look at their history, Chiefs usually crush the Ravens during the regular season. I mean, we're talking about like 2 touchdown wins. Like,
well, better yet, Lamar Jackson, regular season Lamar Jackson is better than playoff Lamar Jackson. Put it that way.
Yeah, he was there last time, Marv. He was there doing those ass whoopings. He was
still there.
No, there's no avoiding it because
he was MVP Lamar.
It was MVP Lamar. The year he won an MVP, I want to say they beat him by like 20 points. Look, Chiefs own the Ravens right now. Till they show me otherwise, It's all right. It's all Chiefs all day. Take the 3 points. Hey, if you want a little extra money, bump it up to 9.5. The Ravens are
Oh,
going to be the Chiefs are going to beat them by like 10 points. Yes. They're just like in the playoffs. Just like
you know what?
you just saw it in the playoffs in Baltimore. Now they're going to be at Arrowhead. They're going to win. They're going to win by 10 plus points.
By
You want
10?
some extra money? Put it on there. Just bump it up. If you go to one of those sites where they let you change the alternate spreads, and instead of 3, you bump it up to -9,
You know
minus
what?
9.5,
You know what?
and
This
take your
is
extra
such a wacky pick with that comment that you made. We're gonna make this a bold
money.
by saying that they're gonna
leave the
win by
minus nine and
10.
a half in there. Yes.
Yeah, nine and a
By
half or
10.
10. What is it?
By 10. It's 3. The number is
Oh,
3.
it's numbers 3. Okay, fair enough.
I'm saying add another 6.5 to that
Wow.
and make it 10. Yes. Yes. Very
Wow.
confident in that too.
You seem very confident for a
Very,
team that's
very
gonna have a
confident.
Super Bowl hangover.
Very,
First game of the season.
well, if in case you missed it, they've been winning Super Bowls for the last like 4 or 5 years.
I know, but in case you missed it, last season they struggled early on.
They didn't struggle in the playoffs.
No, I'm just talking about start of the season. Start of the season.
I told you about that. It's just like Jordan and them, right? Jordan and them, when they won 72 games, they run through the thing. They ain't won 72 games since then. They're winning like 57, 55, 56 games, but they're still running through the playoffs and losing 2 games and then winning the whole playoffs. So this is where the Chiefs are at right now.
Oh,
They're used to
I
winning.
agree.
The regular season is no longer a thing to them.
Yeah,
I know. It's boring when the playoffs get
exactly. He's Patrick Mahomes still celebrating, probably making another baby. He ain't got time for this. Regular season, boring there.
Right, but this is different. Okay, he has to establish. He has to keep his foot on the neck of Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the MVP, but hey, I'm chief dog. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand what's going to happen every time you play me. Man. So he's not going to let this one go. Not this game. Maybe when he plays the Detroit Lions,
this is
he could turn it off a little
bit. This is a clown pick. The plus 10 points clown pick.
Plus I said 10 points. And the fact you putting it on the clown pick, we're gonna do a reverse clown pick when it happens.
Next slide.
Next
slide. We got the Friday night game. Eagles at home against the Packers. No, I'm sorry. Neutral site, even though the Eagles are the home team.
Yes.
Neutral site. This is going to be in Brazil.
Mexico? Oh, Brazil.
So, I'm going with the Eagles here. They got a lot to prove after the complete collapse last season. Eagles are favored by 3. But I like the up and coming Packers, but I think the Eagles got too much to prove. They got to win this game.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I think that they're going to actually live off of the momentum. It's only a 2.5 point game. So even Vegas don't think this is going to be a big thing.
It's not going to be a big thing. It's going to be a close game. I think Saquon Barkley is going to get a lot of work.
Right. Well, see, this is the thing. My saying with the Eagles is that's where running backs go to die.
Whoa.
Right. We just saw DeAndre Swift go there and die. Right.
Yeah, but you saw Miles Sanders get paid by the Carolina Panthers because of his success in Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, he died because he couldn't play in Philadelphia no more. So
no, he died in Carolina.
Yeah, but he couldn't play. Why didn't Philadelphia continue to have him?
Oh, well, because he was old.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But he died, and he's never been Miles Sanders since leaving the Eagles.
Are you still a little salty because who was the guy that played for Dallas, rushed for all those yards, and then went to Philadelphia and had nothing left in the tank?
Oh, you talking about DeMarco Murray?
Yeah, DeMarco Murray. Is that why you say that?
No, man, not at all.
I mean, y'all ran that poor man in the ground. Wouldn't pay him.
No. Hey, look it up. After he left Philly, where he went to die, right? He had a pretty good season. He had a pretty good couple seasons with Tennessee. He did not die all the way. He had a pretty good. He had a pretty
That dude
good
was on
rest of
one
his
leg,
career.
man.
He
Like
had
Derrick Henry with Baltimore was on one leg.
he revived his career at Tennessee when he went there. He actually had a productive career in Tennessee, but that's just there. But I'm gonna say this: that Hurts has a lot to prove. Like you said, that 10-1 collapse was terrible. Even though I predicted it, I told y'all last year. That's why Dallas was going to win the day, win the
Here we
division.
go. Here we
Here we,
go.
here we go. I gotta tout myself because it happened, and we gotta record it. Okay, I like having it recorded. I told y'all that they were gonna fall off the cliff last year, and
Here
they
we
fell
go.
all the way off the cliff. They fell all the way through. They went 10-1 and did not win the division. That's crazy. So they got a lot to prove. They brought some people in, DeHaan Dotson. They re-signed their not the quarterback, but the receiver. Gave him the money. They showed him the bag. Jalen Hurts, like I said, that collapse last year, they got drummed out of the playoffs in the first round. They need to make up for that. And I think
Yeah, they got a lot to prove because the coach is on the chopping block. Like they are really upset with him. So
absolutely.
yeah.
I think they win this, and it will be a close, rather low scoring game. I believe. I believe this is
Oh
going
yeah,
to be.
I think that's without a doubt. It's going to be a low scoring game. It's going to be a tight game because I
Yeah, the
think Jordan.
total. Okay.
I was going to say Jordan Love. I think he's shown a lot last season. I think they're fitting in nicely there. And then they brought in who's the running back from the Raiders that led the league in rushing.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the Eagles take this by 3 points, like 24-21, something like that. Under the spread, under the total, I would take the under. It's 48.5.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the under and the Eagles minus 2.5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we both went with the Eagles here. Next
All right,
slide. All right. We got the Falcons at home against the Steelers. Falcons are 3.5 home favorites. So yeah, I got the Falcons winning this game. I think I was gonna say Matt Ryan. I think Kirk Cousins. I think the Falcons got a lot of talent. I know a lot of Saints fans don't believe it, but I'm like, look, and I know you don't believe it. I think they're loaded. They just need a competent quarterback, and they got a competent quarterback. I think it's probably going to be more than 3.5 that they're going to win by because I don't think the Steelers are that good.
Okay, I'm on the opposite way on this one. We got opposite picks on this, and I'm just going. I do not believe in Raheem Morris. I just don't. I've seen him coach with Tampa Bay. I've seen him as a defensive coordinator. I just do not believe him as a coach. I just don't. I don't know if he knows the right offensive personnel to bring in to coach that side of the football for the talent that he has. So, with that being said, I'm going with the better coach here, and that is definitely
that's fair. That's Tomlin. That's
yeah,
definitely Tomlin.
That's clearly Tomlin.
Yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, no, and I don't hate that. I just think that Raheem Morris, if he can't make this work, then that's on him. You are loaded with talent. And they went out and got some talent for the defense too. So you can't figure this out. Yeah, you got no more excuses because when you were in Tampa, you didn't have the talent to do it.
Yeah, but I just don't think he could turn it around either. And like you said, he does have talent in certain places. I'm a little bit less on Drake London than other people are. People think he's a superstar. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But
I just don't know how you can tell. Like
I just go by like Justin Jefferson, right? It didn't matter what quarterback was throwing him the ball.
Where?
He was productive. Justin Jefferson.
What quarterback helped them be productive when Kirk Cousins went down?
I mean, when Kirk Cousins went down last year, he still was productive.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
was.
so. I think his
Yeah.
production went down because he had quarterbacks. The tight ends production went up
Well,
because
his production went down because he got hurt. That's why his
he
production.
got hurt, but he had nobody good to throw him the ball. I mean, he only had just over 1,000 yards. That's not
Right.
a Justin Jefferson season, and
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
mainly
yeah,
because
it's
Kirk
true.
Cousins got hurt.
That's true. That's true. But I think it was more that because Hawkinson got hurt last year. So
Mhm.
he didn't have that. He didn't have everything to throw to him. So then after that happens, then what you gonna do? You're gonna roll all the coverage over to Jefferson.
Yeah, you're gonna roll. Yeah, he went from 1,800 yards in
Mhm.
2022 to 1,074 yards in 2023. The
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins injury hurt him big time. That's one
right.
thing I
But he
say
didn't
about
play
receivers.
16 games neither. Justin didn't play
No,
16 games.
you're right. He only played 10. So
Right,
okay, that
right,
that
right.
that factored into it.
Right. Now he hit 1,000 yards up with 10
Yeah.
games.
Well, I mean, he had Kirk Cousins the first. How many games did Kirk Cousins play?
I think he played 7, I believe.
Yeah, you might be right. He played like the first couple of games of the season because remember they were struggling too.
Right, right.
He threw for 2,000 yards
Mm-hmm.
that season. So yeah, Kirk played a good bit of that season. So he played in 8 games.
8 games. That's what. Okay.
Yeah,
I
eight
knew it was
games.
like around half. I thought it was less than. Okay, so around half. Eight games.
Yeah, 8 games. So, but I mean,
And in the eighth game, he got hurt in.
yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's where he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, that's hard on receivers when you don't have a quarterback to throw you the ball. That's just hard.
No,
And
it is. It
and
definitely is.
and I will see what Drake London is now. He has no excuse. You got Kirk. Kirk is a veteran quarterback. Regular season
Yep.
Kirk is nice.
Yep.
Playoff Kirk,
No more excuses, like you
no
said.
more excuses.
I think this yet again is going to be a low scoring game. Low scoring game. The over under is a low 42.5. I think they're still going to go under that.
You think he'll go under that?
I think it's still gonna go under that. I mean, people out there listening, the first week, bet the unders. Just bet the unders. Okay. Nobody hardly played the preseason. There's very few
Right.
teams
That's right.
played
You're
the
gonna be a lot of
preseason.
rusty players out
There's
there.
gonna be a lot of rust. A lot of rust.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to play out there with the full bullets, with bullets flying.
So
And those little inter team scrimmages they have, that is
yeah,
not.
that's not game situations.
Mm-mm.
So this is a bold pick by you.
Is it bold? I don't even think I don't think they even 3-point favors are. Oh, three
Yeah,
and a half.
3.5.
Wow.
Yeah. The
I'm
Falcons are at
shocked.
home.
I'm shocked at three and a
What?
half point favors.
I keep trying to tell you that the Falcons are considered to be a loaded team. They just got two really good players for defense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
they
maybe they can
consider
change my mind because you know what? I didn't when CJ Stroud came in the league. I saw what he did in college. I wasn't impressed. Now I'm impressed.
he
You know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
impressed in college with CJ.
He wasn't impressive. No, he
What? At
wasn't.
Ohio State, he wasn't impressive?
He wasn't impressive. What you want me to say? He wasn't impressive. He was okay. He was, like the other Ohio State quarterbacks that came in there. He didn't even have better stats than Haskins his last year. Haskins had better stats than he did. And we saw what happened with that guy.
But didn't CJ Stroud take Ohio State to the national championship? Yeah, I think he did. He led them to the national championship, or at least one game from the national championship.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't a national championship. No.
I want to say he was in the national championship. I want to say they lost to Alabama.
In the national championship?
I want to say they lost it. Ohio State was in the national championship a few years ago.
No.
No?
It was all Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia the last few years.
You might be right.
Yeah.
But they were in the playoffs.
They were in the playoffs probably one or two of those years. I'm not sure if CJ Stroud was one of those years. But yeah, I mean they were a good team, they were winning their games, but I don't think they were like in the top 4.
Okay. I was high on CJ Stroud. I'll put it that way. I was high on him. Once I saw him in the combine, I was like, oh my God. The great anticipation, the effortless quick release and throwing ability, the arm talent, it was just all there for me. So I was convinced.
Okay, well, admittedly, I was not. I was not. Even in college, I was like Nana Proud, like, oh no, I'm not backing this dude. I'm betting against.
Oh man,
Not that he was
the
terrible. Not that he was
disrespect,
terrible.
man.
Not that he
Wow.
was terrible. I just didn't think he would be an elite quarterback. But he obviously is on that way right now.
Yeah. He's shown it. All right. Next slide.
Next slide. Next slide.
We have the Buffalo Bills at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Buffalo's 6.5-point home favorites. I think this is really easy. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. You going with the Cardinals?
I'm not going with the Cardinals, but I don't think this is going to be an easy game. I really don't think it's going to be an easy game.
You don't think it's going to be easy?
I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I mean, you're going to have a full Kyler Murray back there.
Yep.
You know, off the ACL. There's no more injury bug.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr., who is, I think he's going under the radar, to be honest with you. I don't think people are talking about him enough. That dude was fabulous at Ohio State. I mean,
but we hadn't seen him. We hadn't seen him yet, so we don't know. I think
he was super prolific at Ohio State.
Yes, he was.
So I don't think he's gonna have any problem translating that to the NFL from what he did. Right. So now you're gonna have him. You're gonna have Kyler Murray, who is known to be sort of accurate, but his main thing is you're going to deal with that plus the running.
Yeah.
Plus McBride has established himself as a number one tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know who else they have to help any of that. You know what I'm saying? James Conner is still there running. And he was actually pretty serviceable last year.
He was.
He was actually pretty serviceable last year. And don't forget, Buffalo lost to Jaguars last year at home. They almost lost to the New York Giants at home. They should have lost to the Denver Broncos at home.
But they didn't.
But you know why they have. We saw the quote unquote luck that happened that helped them win those games. You know what I'm saying?
So why aren't you picking the Cardinals?
I can't pick the Cardinals because number one, it goes against the cardinal rule of a West Coast team.
No pun intended.
You're right. No pun intended. It breaks the cardinal rule of the West Coast team coming east and playing at 1 o'clock. We all know, the people who are into sports investing, we know that
that's not good.
You don't bet that West Coast team coming over to the East Coast at 1 o'clock.
But does that even factor with the first game of the season? Like, I would bet the Arizona Cardinals will probably show up in Buffalo probably Friday or Thursday to get acclimated with the time difference, the weather, and things of that nature.
Yes. Well, see, there are certain geographical advantages that people have in football. And it's not really about being in the middle of the season or the end of the season. It's just geographical. It's the planet. You're on the planet. You're taking a plane from, and that's the plane ride for 4.5 hours is enough in itself to sap you. Okay, even if you get there early, right? But you have to take all your equipment. You got to stay away from your family. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're already on the road, but then it's that long trip from west to east. And I don't know if people really pay attention to themselves when they travel from west to east. Your jet lag is 2 times worse when you come from west to east than when you're going from east to west.
Right.
You get that jet lag. When you go from east to west, you feel okay. I mean, your times are off, but you don't feel tired yet. You're not tired. But when you're coming from west to east, that jet lag just hits you different. It just does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but and think about their body clock
but your body adjusts after so many days.
Yeah, but it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's more than 3 days. You need more than 3 days to adjust.
Oh man, I think beginning of the season, this is a non-issue because they're gonna get there early. It's not like they had a game in Arizona that they played, last Sunday. That
makes it harder. Yeah, that definitely
makes it harder.
That definitely makes it something harder. But like I said, the geographical advantages from west to east, it does exist. It
does. Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, I wasn't picking Arizona anyway, But
Right. But I don't think this is going to be like a route or anything, is what I'm saying.
oh, I think it's gonna be a rout. But
And,
anyway,
I mean,
next slide.
they're 6.5-point favorites. I would take Carolina I would take the Cardinals and the points.
You take the Cardinals on the point.
Yeah, but
I
I think
got
the Bills are going to win.
I got the Bills winning by 7. They're gonna win this game. It's not. Yeah.
Even out their top receivers and all that don't matter.
Next slide. Bears. Bears at home against the Tennessee Titans. Bears are 4-point home favorites. All right. I'm going against the Bears on this. I think Will Levis. I think
we'll pick.
Yes, I think Will Levis. I think and you know, Caleb Williams, he's known for making, some mistakes and doing some silly things.
He's a rookie.
He's a rookie. I think Will Levis is his second season.
Yep.
He's got Calvin Ripley. He's got D Hops. So, he's got some ballers to throw the ball to, right? So I got Tennessee winning this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely different on this. I'm going with the Bears.
Whoa. Stop.
Hold up.
All the negative stuff you were saying about Caleb Williams all off season.
Yeah. This is basically a bet against Tennessee Titans. I mean, they don't have Derrick Henry no more. That identity is gone.
They'll pass first team now.
You got Pollard, who we already showed he's not a number one back in Dallas.
He's injury
prone.
Already
showed that.
Yeah.
So I think that they just don't have enough talent. Even DeAndre Hopkins is going to he's hobbled. He's not even 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I think with all that being, they're going to travel. Like I said, you got to travel from Tennessee, from one of the southern teams on the east, going to the north. I don't know what the weather's going to be. What the weather's going to be that day?
Yeah, the weather's going to be fine in Chicago. This is September.
Yeah, September, but Chicago is the what? Windy city.
A windy city in winter months.
Right.
Chicago be beautiful this time of the year. They ain't gonna have no issue in Chicago.
It is not just the winter months. And don't forget, September is the beginning of the winter. That's right around winterish time. You're winterish.
That ain't no winterish. That's fall, man.
You're winter adjacent. What is fall? Fall is winter adjacent.
No, fall is autumn.
Oh man, come on! Don't try to.
Man, Tennessee will be fine. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this year. They ain't gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna surprise us winning a few.
I think the Bears just have too much talent, though. I mean,
I think they do. I'm putting this on the quarterback.
Swift. Yeah, you got DeAndre Swift back there.
Yeah, you got DJ Moore.
But Tennessee Titans guy, they got a 2-year guy. I mean, he ain't been there that long. He ain't a veteran.
He ain't been that long, but I mean, he should be more polished this season. So I mean, in the fact that he's going to get,
he should be. But he should have been. Yeah, you would think he would polish it up last year too.
Yeah,
but he didn't. He didn't get better as the season went on.
He didn't. So I got Tennessee. So Tennessee, you can call it a bold pick. I don't care. Write it down, take a pick.
Yeah, it is a bold pick because they are 4.5.
They got 4.5. All right, now I want to see you make a bold pick here. We got the Bengals at home against the Patriots. Bengals are 8-point home favorites. Make a bold pick here. I'm going with the Bengals.
Come on now. Of course not. We saw how terrible the Patriots look. I ain't even waste no time making a thing. Give me the Bengals.
You can't get the Bengals on this? Okay. And the points? All right.
Yeah, you might want to bump that up. It's 7.5. Make it 10.5. Make it 13.5, y'all.
13.5?
Go get the extra money. Make it 13.5.
Yeah.
Go get the extra money.
Well, I mean, why not play the rookie quarterback? I don't get it. All right. Next, we have the Colts at home against the Texans. The Texans are 3-point road favorites. I'm going with the Texans. I like CJ Stroud. I think it's going to continue. CJ Stroud, the magic.
I mean, it's divisional. I think that they just have more talent than the Colts. Just raw, more talent. And
I agree. And
Anthony Richards basically still on his rookie year. He played 4 games last year.
Yep. Yep. A lot of promise coming back from a knee injury. So a lot of
Yeah.
rust to kick off from this young guy.
Yeah, and
I don't
even
think
in the
it's going to happen.
preseason, I mean, he threw a pick six. You know, his balls kind of going all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready.
Yeah. I think he'll get it together, but yeah, it's gonna take some time. He's not gonna get it the first game of the season. And
No,
Houston's got a defensive minded head coach. He's gonna put a lot of heat on that young quarterback. All right.
absolutely.
All right. Dolphins at home against the Jaguars. Dolphins are 3.5 point home favorites. Yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins. Dolphins probably gonna be throwing a lot of stuff at the Jags that the Jags hadn't seen, and they're gonna keep that defense on off balance. Dolphins. Who you got?
Yeah, I got the Dolphins winning this. It just is what it is. They're just going to outscore the Jaguars. I don't think Jaguars going to have enough on defense to stop them. It's 3.5, which is a terrible number. If y'all can avoid 3.5, don't take 3.5. But Dolphins will probably cover that.
So you're not taking the highest paid quarterback in league history?
No, that has nothing to do with nothing. That's the Jaguars being desperate and
Well,
not
yeah.
want to back.
And look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't blame the Dolphins. I mean, the Jaguars. When you
No,
struggle to
don't
find
blame
a
them.
you struggle to find a franchise quarterback, and you got somebody you think could be it, pay him. Just pay him. Keep him. Do
Yeah,
whatever
I
you
mean
can.
he's a number one overall pick. I
Yeah,
mean, you
yeah,
gotta follow through with it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you already hit your wagon to it. Stay with it.
All right, that's
Yeah,
right, absolutely.
yeah. Because I know when we get our next franchise quarterback, pay him whatever it takes to keep him in New Orleans.
Right, and it's not like Trevor Lawrence ain't show flashes. He done showed plenty of
Yeah,
flashes.
show
You know,
flashes,
yeah, he definitely has.
but he hadn't shown enough to be the highest paid quarterback. Put it that way.
No, no.
All right. Speaking of my team, Saints at home against the Carolina Panthers. Saints are 4 point home favorites. And in
Mm.
my opinion, this is a must win for the Saints. Must win. You got to win this game. You cannot lose to the Panthers because the schedule gets hard after this. And right now, we can't mess around with this. We got to win this joint. I got the Saints winning. Got to win. Must win. I hate to call a must win the first game of the season, but damn it, I'm calling a must win on this. Got to win it, knowing what's behind this game.
Well,
It could get ugly.
you said you had 4.5. I got 3.5.
You got three? No, I got four.
Oh,
ESPN
4?
has it four.
Oh, okay. I see 3.5 for just my quick look. I mean, I didn't shop around, but yeah. I mean, it's the Saints. I mean, Panthers have not improved at
No,
all as far as I can see. The only thing they improved is Bryce Young had a whole year playing the quarterback. He'd probably be a little better, but they don't have enough talent around him. There's still no talent around.
right, right.
Him out. You know?
He might
Miles
be. I mean, I expect him to be better than he was last season. I mean, he can't help but there's nowhere else to go but up because he was so bad last season. He had one of the worst rookie quarterbacks, worse than Jamarcus Russell type quarterback seasons. So he can't help but to improve. So I think he's going to be better, but he's not going to beat the Saints at home against our defense in the
Right.
Superdome with our crazy fans cheering on the Saints and our defense coming all over for this little guy that's going to be standing back there. He's going to have a hard damn time. Saints are going to win this game. And
I
and
agree.
and then I'm concerned thereafter because we got the Cowboys, Eagles, Falcons, Chiefs, and then Bucks. Yeah,
Wow.
we got some heavy stuff. I mean, literally, we can be 1-4 by week 6.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. Okay. Next slide. We got the Giants at home against the Vikings. The Vikings are 2 point road favorites over the Giants. That's how bad the Giants must be, how bad Vegas think the Giants are.
Yeah.
And because who are the Vikings starting at quarterback? Because they lost the
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Ugh, ugh. Yeah. Ooh. I honestly, I want to go with the Giants on this. I honestly do. I think the Giants are probably going to do some wacky stuff to pull out this game.
Damn, I thought I was going to have a damn bold pick on this joint, but I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
They got neighbors. Their defense was actually pretty good last year. It
They
wasn't bad.
were. They
Their
were.
defense actually was not bad last year. And a year better of
Daniel
Daniel
Jones.
Jones. He has the best receiver he's ever had since he's been
No
there.
more excuses for him.
In neighbors,
Yeah.
neighbors gonna be the best receiver he's ever had. That let's see if he can actually do something with him. Don't have much running backs, but he has some serviceable running backs.
Right.
So, he's gonna bring Singletary and not Zach. Is it Zach Moss? No, not Zach Moss. But he's gonna have some kind of talent around him that's better than what he had before. And I think that the Vikings are still going to be adjusting, even though I'm one of the few people that kind of a little bit believe in Sam Darnold, that he can compete if he has some talent around him. He, I think he still needs some time to blend with them. You know what I'm saying?
I
Uh,
am not. I
so
am not convinced by Sam Darnold.
look. There's nothing to be convinced from him. This is a feel from the clips that I've seen, the flashes, quote unquote, that he's had, because he's coming from the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. There's not a whole lot you can show there. It's just not. They don't. Those are not winning franchises. But now
What do you?
he has the best receiver he's ever worked with, the best receiver by far that he's ever worked with, probably the best coaching that he's dealt with, and this is the best organization he's dealt with, So
The
I'm
Vikings?
yes, this is the best organization. They're not
Oh,
better than the Jets and them Carolina
they're
Panthers.
better than the Panthers?
Yes, are you kidding me? Yes, they have success. They've been to the playoffs. Where have the Panthers been?
Super Bowl?
I mean, we're talking about what with Cam Newton. How long was that? 10 years ago? What have they done since then? Not even the playoffs. I don't even think they made the playoffs since then.
I think they made the playoffs. I
I
thought they
don't
made the
think they made
playoffs
the
with
playoffs.
Cam and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, once. That's what. Well, they didn't have McCaffrey when they went to the Super Bowl.
They didn't have McCaffrey then. No,
That's it. I don't think they made playoffs since then.
I thought they made the playoffs with Cam and McCaffrey.
I don't
But
think so.
but Sam Darnold had McCaffrey. He had McCaffrey on the team. He had DJ Moore on the team. I've seen him.
He had McCaffrey.
I've seen him with both of them, and still was. We lost a game to the Carolina Panthers, and this dude threw for 59 yards in the game and
Yeah,
beat
but
us.
didn't he play one season there?
He played 2 seasons, I want to say.
I don't know. I think he played one season there because remember he came from the Jets. That's
Yeah,
not when he got drafted. He came from the Jets.
he came from the Jets. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So I don't think he started there for 2 seasons. Because
I,
remember they had Baker. They had Baker Mayfield.
yeah, and I think
Yeah,
you
Baker
got me all
Mayfield
confused.
started there. Baker Mayfield.
They were competing for the job, right?
Right. But before that, it was not Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold wasn't the guy there. There was somebody else there. Shoot, who was their quarterback? Was that Dalton? No.
Got me wondering now. Let me see.
Yeah, I can't remember who the quarterback was there now. That's weird. But it wasn't him. It wasn't Darnold. Because I think he was only there 1 year or maybe.
No, I think he was there 2 years. I'm almost certain he was there 2 years.
But Baker started one of those years.
Oh yeah. I think Baker started 1 year.
Yeah.
And they cut Baker. They
Yeah.
just straight cut him. And he went to LA. That was like 2 years ago, and had like a magical run. He showed up on Thursday, played on Sunday.
Yep. And did he go to playoffs? Did they go to playoffs? No, he won that game.
He won the game. So so Sam Darnold played 2 seasons in Carolina, in 2021 and 2022. So yeah, he had it was 2022. They brought in Baker to start, and Baker didn't play well, and then Sam Darnold ended up playing the final 6 games. I remember that.
Right.
And had the one game.
And that was also the year that they traded right? That was also the year that they traded
DJ Moore,
McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, it was the year that they traded McCaffrey. Yeah.
So he didn't have him a whole year either.
He had him in 2021.
He didn't have him because it was Baker Mayfield. I thought it was Baker Mayfield there.
No, not 2021. They brought in.
He started the whole season in 2021. I don't
Yes.
think so.
Yes. Let me see. He started.
I don't think he started the whole season.
He played in 12 games. He probably got benched. He was bad. He was bad in 2021.
Well, the whole team was bad. But
anyway, man,
the whole
that
team
dude was
was
bad. He's been bad.
But look, we're gonna see this year. And like I said, he has talent around him now.
Well, go on and pick the Vikings.
If he can't do it, I can't pick the Vikings because I was already had in my head that I was going to take the Giants as a bold pick.
Dude, it's funny. It's funny how you make your points about the team you're not going to pick.
Yeah, well, I call it like I said. I mean, I'm just saying he hasn't had the talent around him to even be able to fairly evaluate him, and he's been in shitty organizations. Two of them back to back.
I disagree. I'll agree with you with the Jets, but I would not say that about the Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers is not a bad organization. Really?
Yeah. No, they've been to the Super Bowl twice within the past 20 years. Yeah. Jake Delhomme took them to the Super Bowl. They had a year where they had Kerry Collins taking them to the NFC Championship game when they were only in the league for like 5 seasons or something.
Yeah, so but I don't think they've been in the playoffs in like 10 years.
I wouldn't say that. I would say Cam Newton has taken them to the playoffs since then.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's even been in the playoffs since then. He fell off the cliff when he came out for the Super Bowl.
Nah. I don't think they've been that bad. I get what you're saying. They got their issues, their franchise, and they've been trying to, make up, trying to rebuild the franchise, but they hadn't been that bad. I give them a little bit more respect than I give like the pathetic Falcons. Yeah. That's a poorly run franchise.
I mean, once again, the team have been in the Super Bowl twice in the last 2 years. Why you giving them credit? Not them.
What do you mean twice?
They've been in the Super Bowl. They were there when they go to the Super Bowl twice.
We have 98, the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, 98, and then they went with
Matt Ryan.
With Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They've been in the Super Bowl.
All right, whatever. Next slide, man. We're gonna go back and forth on this. You're wrong and I'm right.
We both take. Well, we're gonna see. Let's clip that one right there. We're gonna clip that.
Okay. I'm gonna put a star by it.
When Sam Darnold looks serviceable.
Even though you picked the Giants, we're gonna clip it anyway.
I'm picking the Giants, but we talk about Sam Darnold individual.
Whatever. Next slide. Chargers at home against the Raiders. Chargers are 3-point home favorites. Man, I really wanted to pick the Raiders on this. I really do. But Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, too much. I'm going with the Chargers because I got to go with the better coach. I got to go with the better quarterback. I cannot go with Gardner Minshew. I like Anthony Pierce, but can't go with Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Same thing here. I think that Harbaugh just knows how to turn stuff around quick. He's already showed he can do it. I think he's already starting there.
Yeah.
The ball's going to be a low-scoring game, a super low-scoring game, but Chargers are going to win.
I got you. I'm with you on that. And I think I think he's a good quarterback. And he finally has a coach that knows how to win, right? Where he doesn't have to work so hard. All right. Absolutely. Seahawks at home against the Broncos. I'm about to say the Nuggets for some reason. The Broncos. Seahawks are 6-point home favorites. Yeah. I'm gonna make a bold pick here. I'm a Sean Payton fan. I think he's got the quarterback that he wants in Bo Nix. I think the Sean Payton effect here is going to propel the Broncos to a win. They're going to surprise a lot of teams. So I got the Broncos winning this game on the Sean Payton effect. He's going to outcoach. I don't even know who the coach is of Seattle. He's going to outcoach it, whoever the hell he is. Broncos.
Going with the Broncos, huh?
Yep. Who you got?
I am going to go with Seattle on this one. Just home. I actually don't like that Pete Carroll's not there no more.
Yeah, me either. He's a winner.
He's actually a good coach.
Yep.
I think he's actually a good coach.
I think so.
but you bring in a rookie quarterback in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start Bo Nix, right?
Yep, starting Bo
I,
Nix.
I think that's going to be an issue. His very first game. I can't roll with a rookie quarterback on his very very first game unless they're playing like a bad team. Um, and I don't think Seattle is a terrible team. I don't think they're a bad team.
I
I
don't.
just think they're meh. I think they're very
Yeah,
meh.
they're
They're in the
average.
middle. Yeah, very average. I
Yeah,
think they're a very average team. I still don't believe in Geno Smith, but I know he's a veteran quarterback. He should know how to make a mistake. I just think they're going to edge out the Broncos at home, 12th man in effect. Yeah, I think they'll win by 3 points. Field goal.
field goal. Okay. All right. Next, we got the Browns at home against the Cowboys. The Browns are 2.5-point home favorites.
Mm.
I'm going with the Cowboys on this. I think the
Wow.
Cowboys. Yeah, I think the Cowboys are going to.
I thought we was gonna be on the opposite end of the brand on this one.
No,
Really?
no,
I
nope. I
thought we
got
were
the
gonna be on the
Cowboys.
opposite end
I
in
think
a
the
row.
Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones. I think Mike McCarthy are under the gun. They have to win this year. Yeah, they probably gonna start off hard. CD Lamb gonna be feeling real good. He probably bought his offensive lineman some new watches and stuff. So everybody gonna be feeling real good. And I think the Cowboys gonna win this game. Who you got?
I agree. I think the Cowboys are gonna win. Um, you know, I don't even know if Deshaun Watson gonna be fully healthy. He already was complaining
That's
about
right.
his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And if they had to use any of those other quarterbacks, it's done.
Oh yeah, if Jameis Winston is thrown out there because he's
Man,
gonna be the backup. Yeah, they're
man,
done.
man.
They're
Ter-
done. Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on this. I don't think there's a full strength Deshaun Watson there. Um, and I think they're gonna put the pressure on him when he goes to pass. So
agreed.
I think the Cowboys eke this out. They probably win by 4 points.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
It's gonna be a low scoring game, but I mean not low scoring game, but it's gonna be a close game.
Right.
But I got the Cowboys winning it. All right, Bucks at home against the Commanders. Bucks are 3.5-point
Mm,
home favorites. I'm gonna make another bold pick. I'm going with
yeah.
the rookie quarterback. I'm going with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels gotta make up for what happened to LSU. He was at the game. They lost. Jaden got to show out. Show out. He gonna use his legs. He gonna give the Bucks problems because they hadn't seen him yet. I'm going with the Commanders. Commanders make a new run, they start the season off feeling good. Yeah, I said out there, Commanders fans, y'all gonna win this. Danielle, if you're listening to me, I got y'all winning this. I know she's probably cheering. Who you got?
I'm going with the Buccaneers at home. At home, the Commanders' defense is still very porous. Look for Mike
Mike
Evans,
Evans.
a huge game because that's what he do against the Commanders. He had some of his biggest games, including like a 200-yard game against the Commanders, and that's just what he does. And he's at home. Everybody's fresh, and the Commanders already showed, even in the preseason, that the defense is still lackluster. Uh, now. With
Even
that
with
being
your old defensive coordinator, you don't think
even the old defensive coordinator as the coach, they don't have the personnel. They just don't have the personnel.
Fair enough.
And even in Dallas, he showed if he don't have the personnel, he's not going to produce. He's not going to keep the score down. So yeah, I just think that they're going to be, Jay McDaniels, even though I do think he's going to be a good quarterback. I think he just doesn't have quite enough around him right now. And hopefully he learns how to slide.
Right.
Because he's going to be running. If
yeah.
anybody wants to take anything in this game, take Jay McDaniels rushing yards. Because he's going to be running.
He's going to be running. That's what I'm saying. He's going to be working real hard to win this game.
He's going to be running. But I just don't think it'll be enough. I think the Buccaneers are going to win by like 4 points.
Wow. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Nah.
All right. We got a good one here. We got the Lions at home against the Rams. The Lions are 4-point home favorites. I'm going to make another bold pick here. I'm going with the Rams, and I'm going with the Rams because of coaching. Dan Campbell he's going to skip out on some field goals. He's going to go for it on fourth down. He's going to do some stupid stuff that's going to give the Rams an opportunity to win this game. And your boy Puka Nakua, now that we know how to say his name,
Puka Nuka.
Nuka Nuka, Puka Nuka, Puka Nakua.
Puka Puka.
He going to do his thing out there.
Poggy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Stafford has to finish the game. If Stafford doesn't finish this game, anytime I pick the Rams.
Caveat out there. That's a nice caveat to put out there.
I gotta put that.
If anybody's starting quarterback is out of the game, that's pretty much a caveat.
Yeah,
be a wrap.
But when we talk about a guy that stays hurt, I mean,
right, that's true.
Yeah. So I got the Rams. Who you got? You going with?
I am going with the Lions. I'm going with the Lions. It's a nighttime game, so the East coming to the the West coming to the Midwest should make much of a difference. They should be there early.
They should be there early. It should be rested.
Yeah.
It should be adjusted.
But you know what, Dan? For all of what people talk about Dan coaching, Dan
Campbell
coaching, he actually made the Detroit Lions seem like a tougher team. Like they seem tough now. Like they actually play some defense. They actually can run the ball when they want to. And that's attributed to Dan Campbell. I think he's still a good coach. Yep. I do think McVay is still a better coach slightly.
That's my point.
But I'm just going with the home field. They actually have something to prove. I mean, the Lions, when I'm talking about, I say they have something to prove. They they're beating two teams, you know what I'm saying, badly, and lost that game. I mean, they were crushing San Francisco. They were crushing them. Had no business losing that game.
They had no business, and to me, that's coaching.
Right. Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, that's definitely you gotta have coaching. Definitely gotta have something to do with it when you're up by that many points and still lose.
Right.
So yeah, it definitely has to. But I think they know that they Dan Campbell is he's the type of coach that learns from his mistakes. And I think he did learn from those mistakes from last year, all the going for it, all that craziness. And I think they're ready to win. I think they're ready to win. I think they're at home first game. They don't have to travel the first game. Less nerves. I think they'll pull this one out.
All right. Now, we're talking about bad franchises. Okay. I'm just saying, you look at the history.
They weren't bad last year, though. They weren't bad.
They weren't bad last year, but, they always find their way back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, they're the same team. They're the same team they was last year.
Yeah, the balls seem to bounce their way.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now we got the last game, the Monday night game. We got the matchup of the 49ers at home against the Jets. 49ers are 4.5-point home favorites. Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers. Maybe, Aaron Rodgers finishes the game. He is in New York with the Jets, where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah. I don't understand why this is only 4 points, 4.5 points. I would have made this like 10 points. You talk about an aging quarterback who just came off of a major issue. Achilles, right? It is the Jets. It's still the Jets. It's still the Jets. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make that much of a difference. Not that big of a difference. This should be like 9.5 points.
Wow.
At least a touch. It should at least be a touchdown. At least a touchdown.
And then the 49ers got all their, players that have been holding out. Trent Williams is back.
Yep. Everybody's there.
Everybody's there. Everybody's ready to go. So
Yep.
Yeah.
And including the main cog, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Speaking Caffrey, I think he's over his calf injury. So he should be 100%. Well, I don't know about 100%, but
he's never 100%. Let's not get carried away.
Right. But he's the perfect back for that system.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the fact that I forget the other guy that they have. Is he out? Is he hurt? The backup running back.
Mitchell?
Yeah, Mitchell. Was he listed as injured?
I think he's there. Man, I don't think he's at his injury or anything.
Oh, okay.
They also have a third guy there. I can't remember his name is right now. I was looking at it while I was thinking about my fantasy team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as long as Christian McCaffrey there,
Oh yeah,
Debo there, Kittle's there, I think they're going to be a dominant team over the Jets at home. And anybody want to make some extra money, go ahead and put it up at 9.5, minus 9.5.
And by the way, Christian McCaffrey is questionable.
Yeah, because it's calf.
Yeah, well,
he's been questionable for the last 3 weeks.
But 3 years? What are you talking about?
3 weeks, man. Stop.
So
that dude's been happy. That dude's been healthy since he's been there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's been healthy, but when he was with the Panthers, dude was always hurt.
Oh yeah. I mean, because they gave him the ball like 30 times a game.
It was like 30 rushing and 30 receiving. It was running him in the ground.
He had to break up eventually. Good Lord.
Yeah. And he's not a big guy, so it was a bit much. Yeah. So, all right, man. Let's go and wrap this thing up, man. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Holla.